morning or good afternoon, whenever you happen to be watching this recording. Welcome to Workwise Business Insights. I am here with my co-host Rosaline, and today we are interviewing the wonderful Sophie from SMG. Sophie is an incredible creative who designs and makes some of the most stunning jewellery, and this is going to be such a lovely insight into a creative and her business and some of the things that she has learned along the way that we can all learn from. So, welcome Sophie. Thank you so much for agreeing to come and chat to us today.
Yeah. Welcome, Sophie.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much both for the invitation. Really happy to be part of the big family.
Thank you. Welcome to Workwise Business Insight. We can't wait to hear what you have for our viewers.
Absolutely. Rosalind, would you like to start us off?
Yes, please, Michelle. Sophie, tell us a bit about you personally, who you are, where you are not working hard in your business.
Oh, I'm always very curious. So I love going to museums. You will find me at car boot sales as well, because I do love a bit of vintage, antique, and also because it gives me inspirations. I love craftsmanship and I love objects with stories. So I think car boots for me are great because they're even better than museums where you can touch pieces. Well, car boots or antique fairs, you can actually pick and look at them and really appreciate all those all those skills and just imagine the story of that object, and that really resonates with me. Other than that, I love sketching as well, so I always have a little sketchbook in my bag, and my phone is my best friend. For example, I would go to the Greenwich Park for a walk with my husband on a Sunday, and for him it's like walk without stopping, and I will be snapping everywhere because it actually feeds my imagination, and I store that in my little library of inspiration on my Google Drive, and I can always pick up an idea from there and start a thread. Other than that, I'm also a lot back in France, helping out my parents for some, actually making things as well, but more on the renovation, restoration kind of sides, which was also my first love before starting making jewellery. And it's also quite interesting to learn how to preserve things and learn some skills from your parents too. Like with my dad, he showed me, I'm still learning, but arc welding, which is completely different from soldering for precious metal. He wasn't too impressed with my skills, but it's a learning curve.
Gosh, that's quite a skill to learn, isn't
Yeah.
it? I'm curious to know
Yeah, totally. But
what's the best thing that you found at a car boot sale?
The best thing. That's really interesting. See, for example, I thinking recently, I was looking for actually one thing. You go to a car boot without any plans, like, okay, maybe you would like to find, but okay, whatever, it can happen, but most probably not. Anyway, something I found recently was some really nice tools for my workshop, because I'm going to start giving jewelry classes at my studio, and I wanted to get some tools for my students, because obviously I don't have 10 hammers hanging around, and I thought, okay, maybe I can start and look for tools, which would not be my normal search, but actually you find some really nice old equipment that were really sturdy, like a lot sturdier than what you can find now when you buy it from new. And I think it's really interesting to think that that was in the workshop of someone. You're gonna use them again. It's gonna create something. And yeah, I was thinking of that when I was cleaning them, and also cleaning the heads of the hammer so that they are not too shabby, because they've gone through walls, you can tell.
Only they
So I was trying to smooth a little bit the edges. But it's a lovely and it's a lovely feel in the hands. So yeah, honestly, outside of jewelry, I breathe and leave creativity anyway. So I'm just without my overall and without dust. But other than that, I'm pretty much the same person.
I love that. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I love the recycling anyway. It's just like the whole saying that another man's food is somebody else's poison anyway. So yeah, you're making use of it. And you're right. Some of the new things now, they don't last long. So yeah. Yeah. Well done. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, I think you've talked a bit about kind of introducing who you are as a person. You've linked into a bit about your business. I just want us, for our viewers anyway, tell us more about your business. What is it called? I know Michelle did some introduction early on. What do you do, and how long have you been in the business?
So my business called SMG. It's actually for my initials in French, Sophie Martin-Glinel, so SMG. I thought that would be an easier name than calling it Sophie Martin-Glinel Jewellery, which felt a little bit long, but it seems that it kind of people need to see it in writing before they actually get it, but then it's very easy to remember. I've been doing this for the past 6 years, and I was actually, before I was in investment banking, so a very analytical, structured environment. But as I mentioned, creativity has always been there, and I come from a family of entrepreneurs anyway. Each generation has run their own business, so I think that was in me, that independence, if you want. And so typically I serve independent, accomplished women who've outgrown the generic and they want something with a bit more substance and meaning, and so that's where I come in and I create a jewelry that reflects who they are now. And I really enjoy that exchange of understanding where the person is at, and it's always a very it's always a privilege actually to get someone to come to you because they trust that you're going to really meet their dream and make their dream happen. And it's really always very heartwarming, and really you feel good that you've been able to do that for that person. So yeah, that's really what I do. And so I work in small batches, limited editions, because I respect the scarcity of the resource I'm working with. And I also do repairs, and I transform old pieces that people might feel are not exactly theirs. They may have inherited pieces from their mom or grandma. They would love to wear them, but it's not exactly their style. So I help them find something that really, how to keep the essence of the piece and of the person who was wearing it, but make it theirs as well. So it's an interesting journey. And actually jewelry for me is really that combination of the analytical sides of the banking and the really, very structured, and the precision with the more the aesthetic and the soul behind things. So really, so it wasn't like, it wasn't a reinvention going into jewelry, effectively. If I look back, it was more aligning myself with who I was and what I was making. So yeah, turning something that I knew I could do into something a little bit more tangible. Yeah. So this is what I do.
And I think there was a really beautiful demonstration of that, creating something from a vision for somebody else that you shared recently for Judith, from Your Whole Voice. And I feel privileged the fact that I saw the inspiration behind the piece and your beautiful
the drawings, effectively.
And then the final piece, which Judith is wearing with such pride and love, because it's beautiful, and translating that.
I have to say I was very happy that she is wearing it so often, and yes, it's really, you feel that you've really met her where she wanted to go. And that's really nice. And also, if you remember, I had to tweak the design, the original design that I had thought of would embody her soul, and she didn't quite connect with it or relate with it, and we slightly changed it to be more her. So yes, it's a journey for both of us on a project.
Yeah. And I think Judith really, like Michelle said, she's wearing it with pride everywhere. She did Your Own Voice, the morning one she did yesterday. She had it on just before 5 a.m. as well. And I think the last meeting we had as well, Greenwich College, you were not there. She took it off, she showed everybody. I'm thinking about story. She told the story behind it, how you guys made it to make it, because she was talking about, because you are talking about bespoke thing. She was talking about she's got a very small neck and you had to make something that would stay on her neck.
Yes, exactly.
She really loved that anyway, and I love that story. And like you said, she said there's a story behind that as well, and I think I love the way you actually listen to people's story and then create something that resonates. I love to wear something that when people see it, they can find it, and I think that is what you're doing.
Yes. And also there was a lot of on a piece of paper everything's possible, and I had to do a lot of problem solving on this one. Because it was great, because really Judith set me a challenge on one of the element of the whole jewelry. And so I had to work a little bit on trial and error on pieces of copper to make sure that I could make what she wanted, because I didn't necessarily have all the equipment straight, and I wasn't. So it's great because it actually also pushes you personally to see where you're, something that you would not necessarily have done. Then you realize, okay, actually I can. So I said yes, because anyway I kind of trusted myself on this one, and yeah, it worked absolutely 100%. It also allowed me to connect with another jeweler, because there was a piece of equipment for that particular necklace that I didn't have, which was a steel bust where I could hammer to shape the necklace. And obviously it needs to be steel, because otherwise it's too soft. And that particular piece of equipment is not necessarily something that every jeweler has. Although it's very decorative. Now that I have it in my studio, I still haven't given it back to the other jeweler. I need to. I need to. But it's so it was nice to see that there was also like that community support that I could just tap into and say, look guys, would you have that for me, that I could just borrow for a little while. And yeah, so making new connections through that as well. That was the side bonus.
Collaboration, which is good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sophie. Michelle, I'll just pass you over to Michelle. I'm sure Michelle has a few questions as well to ask you.
Yes, Sophie. So what have you learned from the things that haven't gone well in your business that have brought you to where you are today?
It's a good question. And I think for me, it's staying true to yourself. Clarity. So when you start, you have a particular idea, and with time, sometimes you get sidetracked. But actually, your first instinct, at least for me, was the right one. So that and then that clarity, it becomes really the focus and the clarity, and that has helped me to grow to where I am at now. And it's a journey every day. It's a learning curve, and it's a journey, and I keep refining. But really, I guess I got sidetracked sometimes along the way, and going back and recognizing that was the case took me a while, because I'm very passionate about what I make, and I take it at heart. And so recognizing that maybe I was not doing it takes time. But eventually you realize that. You realize actually your gut instinct is telling you anyway that's where you should be going. So this is that's now, yeah, I know where I need to go, that sense of direction. Also things sometimes they don't work out because simply you've maybe not, it's not that you've not planned enough, but say things can go wrong, like metal pricing fluctuating, which has been the case for the past, say, 18 months, because it's gone through the roof. So how do you adapt to that? And for me, it's been moving towards limited drops, if you want, product drops of just a small number of pieces, and so that it's always adapting to the environment, but keeping the main focus effectively.
Yeah, and it's a very noisy world, isn't it? So to hear you say,
Yes.
be true to yourself, be authentic, rather than following somebody else's
Yes.
ideas or model. And then the other thing I'm picking up from you is the resilience. I guess as small business owners, it's
Yes.
easier to be resilient and to move where bigger businesses find it a lot harder.
It's true, but sometimes I find that in the creative space, it's difficult sometimes to dissociate your heart with your brain and with your head, and having that business hat versus that creative hat, and that can be sometimes where it clashes a bit. And as you say, resilience when your application to shows or to competitions or to things have been rejected, and you're like starting questioning, okay, what I've done wrong? Well, how should I've presented my work? Or so there is also that mindset that you need to really keep on check. I mean, and I'm fortunate. I'm optimistic by nature, so I guess that helps a lot. But also surrounding yourself with people who are on the same level, energy level, and values as well. Because it can be really easy to compare yourself to others in the industry and see, oh, this one is doing so much better, or seems to be doing so much better, and so maybe I should copy that person. So again, losing sight of where you want to go. This is what. Also, one thing that I've learned, I'm still learning, trying to say no to things that say no. To when again, because now that I'm a lot more focused, or try to be, I will look at whether it fits the values of the brand that I'm embodying, whether that fits the client I want to serve, and all the rest of it. And saying no without being appearing too, how can I say, abrupt, or I mean, you learn, you offer alternative solutions. It's not for you, but maybe you may know someone who could help on this one, or something along those lines. Maybe it's not you, but you can have a solution that will fix the problem.
And I think that's why it's so great that we have such a cohesive network in Greenwich. We all work together in a lot of ways, because if
That's
somebody
true.
says to me, do you know a jeweler that can help me with this, then I would absolutely put them your way, Sophie. And equally, somebody who needs HR support,
Thank you.
that's Rosalind. That's the great thing about what we have in Greenwich, I think. I was going to ask you what your biggest business insight was But it sounds as though that saying no is one of the key things that you're beginning to say, okay, that moves the needle, because actually saying no saves your energy for the things that you want to say yes to.
100%. Absolutely. I wouldn't put it better. 100%. And if I was to give more of a practical tip from the jewelry industry, when you're thinking of buying a piece of jewelry, your best ally is really common sense. If the price seems cheap for what it is, then there probably is a reason behind it. Because it's, I mean, you think of the materials, they have a cost, the labor has a cost, the design of the piece takes time, it takes skills. So that affordable luxury expression is, I think, very misleading. We would love luxury to be affordable, but I mean, affordable is a very subjective term. I mean, relative term, depending on how much disposable income you have. But usually, anyway, the if you want a piece that lasts, obviously, it will cost a bit more money than. So when you I mean, everybody is free to choose, but as an informed buyer, you know that the price tends to reflect what you get.
Okay, yes. I love that. I love that. Because you actually don't want to buy something that actually you used today, or it will only last you for a year or so. What is the essence anyway? So, and I think for me, moving on from there, if somebody comes to you and said, this is my budget, Sophie, or SMG, this is my budget, can you make me something? Do you work with that budget, or you have a specific price for a certain design?
So so it's a good question. The way I work for a commission piece is actually, I have a design fee. So we start with £250 for the design fee, where we discuss all of the and it's redeemable against the finished price if you go ahead, but it's not refundable because we will have spent time to work on the design. You get to have the drawings that you can perhaps take to another jeweler if you wanted to, but so 250 is the starting, so we have an appointment, we go through what you would like, and I will work on 3 to 4 designs for you, and you have 2 revisions. So I will do some research. I will, when I did, say, for example, the necklace for Judith, the pendant more. I showed her what I thought was absolutely the best, but perhaps from the first rough sketch to refining, probably a good 20. So I do spend some time to, because you tweak the proportions, and as you go, the idea refines itself, So that's how I work. And the overall time from the first time we sit down to the finished piece, if it's not Christmas period where it's crazy, 4 weeks. if it's Christmas time, more probably 6 weeks.
That's good. So if I need something for Christmas, I need to be having conversation with you like September or August. Okay, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. No, yeah. To be fair, because yes, I wouldn't want to let you down, and yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to know. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I think just another question from me, Michelle. I don't know if you have any other follow-on question before I ask. Just briefly, if you can give us, you've mentioned quite a lot of things, and I think one of the things that we talked about clarity, resilience as well. If you can give us one inside tip to apply in our own businesses, obviously, based on what you do, what will it be?
Michelle is gonna love that. Systems and processes.
Okay. System and
Yes,
processes.
I'm getting better at it. Yeah, I'm getting better at it. I'm not by far I'm not there yet, but I've realized that if you want a business and not a job, you need to have a plan and to be organized and structured. So and also processes they allow you to not be reactive, but actually plan ahead as well, and it's always that clarity situation that I'm coming back to. So you know where you want to go. So with the systems and the processes, and your message is a lot more consistent as well. So you're a lot more professional when people come to you, because you know what you're talking about, essentially. And also it allows me, now that I go back and forth to France, it allows me that flexibility. So because life happens, and so yeah, you need to fit life within all that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
And
so
yeah.
Thank you. Thinking about system and processes. So if I book an appointment with you for a sketch, do I get coffee of my own choice? Is that part of the system and processes?
I should. I will make an effort. We will go to the coffee, to the little cafe that's on site. And yes, absolutely. Because remember, I don't have a shop, I have a workshop. It's a working workshop. So it's, you really get to see the behind the scenes. So, but we have a lovely cafe. And they serve lovely food too. So we can have a little bite to eat as well. For
Thank
sure.
you.
How about
Good
a
to know,
glass of
Sophie.
fizz?
Woo! I haven't checked their drink menu, because so far it's essentially coffee for me, but we can have a look.
Good to know. So we'll add that to system and processes. Thank you, Sophie. So just quickly, before Michelle will round up, where can people find you? Where you work, your workshop, where can we find you? Oh, the audience.
So my workshop is with Art Hub Studios by Woolwich Barrier. So if you know Thameside Studios, we are just next to that estate. You can email me, contact@smg.com. So SMG ESSEMGE to book an appointment. Oops, sorry. Technical issues. And you can also connect with me. I publish a long form article on LinkedIn every week. It's called Object with Soul. It's on my company page profile, and I discuss craftsmanship stories, all things jewellery related. And of course you can browse my work on my website, smg.com.
Thank you, Sophie. For our viewers, we will drop all the details in the chat. So thank you. So I'll hand you over to lovely Michelle now.
Wow, I mean, there's so much to take from this, Sophie. Thank you so much. And it's been a great insight, actually, into your process from a creative point of view through to the practical as well. So I really enjoyed hearing about how you work, what goes into your work, and yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. And I do believe that there is so much that we can take from that. For me, the key highlights are that being true to yourself, and actually then translating that into the practical, the systems and the processes, so that you can make life so much more streamlined, so that actually the end result is you have more time and energy for the being true to yourself. So thank you for that. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here today, and thank you.
Thank you. And
thank you very much for the opportunity. It was a pleasure to share that with you.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you so much. And I think adding to what Michelle it's just something that just came to my mind as well. Just for people thinking about career change, career development. You've heard about Sophie's story. I'm just talking from, the HR perspective, career development. Coming from a background of investment banker to be a jeweler is like, I know there's nothing impossible. So please turn your passion into something. It's never too late. That is my takeaway today. And for anyone listening, if you're thinking, I'm stuck in what I'm doing, think about your passion. How can you then change that into an opportunity? Thank you, Sophie.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.